Welcome to this session on overview of ProStructures. I am Lito Kutikadan, the team lead for the facilities engineering team. I'm from the Bentley Pune office in India. So let's get started with ProStructures. So what is ProStructures? ProStructures is a combination of two different software. One is called ProSteel, which is specifically used for structural steel detailing, and the other is called ProConcrete, which is used for reinforced concrete detailing. So these two products together is called as ProStructures. So we are out with the latest version of ProStructures, which is the Connect edition, which has a 64-bit architecture, and the version that is presently in the market is the update 4. The update 5 is supposed to release in the very near future, like maybe in the next month itself. So this is about ProStructures, some basic information. So what does ProStructures do? So first of all, we have ProSteel, ProConcrete, and then uh, what does it run on? It runs on the MicroStation CAD engine. So if you know your basic MicroStation, or if you know to move or maneuver within MicroStation, it's very easy for you to start using ProStructures. Your learning curve reduces drastically if you are already a MicroStation user. It has got a clash detection utility. Okay, so you can so if you have two different models, or even if you have one model with elements in two different layers or levels, you can do a clash detection between them to figure out if there are any clashes between the elements that you have designed. And you also have Lumen RT. So Lumen RT is not a part of ProStructures. I repeat, Lumen RT is not a part of ProStructures. Lumen RT is a very sophisticated tool that is used for creating complicated renderings and animations. So you can combine your ProStructures model with Luminarty to create some very you know very good rendered images and animations to impress your customers or clients. So we'll take a look at each of these products, ProSteel and ProConcrete. We'll start with ProSteel. So what is ProSteel? ProSteel is your structural steel BIM product. So when I say BIM, it is your building information modeling. So what it does is for every component or every member that you add to your steel structure, it has got a certain intelligence associated with it, right? So it helps you to create your bill of material. It helps you keep track of changes in your model, changes in your drawings, right? So what does ProSteel have? What are the important features of ProSteel? So it has got some industry leading modeling tools, like you can see here on the screen. On the left side, you can see the shape catalogs that are available for you to use from. So you can see there are different standards, which are globally accepted standards. You can see those shape catalogs are already available, and then you can see some of the shapes which are available in these catalogs. And there is also you also have the flexibility to create a number of user shapes. So if you have such a requirement where you need to create a shape that is not a standard shape, you can always create your own shape, right? And these are some of the other advanced detailing tools that are available for you. So you can create trusses, you can have stairs, you can have handrails, all sorts of plates, right? So these are some of the components that you can create, or these are already available in the library within ProSteel. You have a very extensive connection library, right? It's called the Connection Center, and there are many different types of connections that are used for different types of steel structures. So they are all present in the library. You can use those. Moving on to some of the deliverables. So this is a GA drawing. So this is created automatically from a model. Okay. So once you create a model and once you're happy with the dimensions and all the members that you have used within your model, these are some of the final deliverables that you can generate using the detail center. The detail center is the tool that is used for creating your 2D drawings out of the 3D model. So this is a GA drawing, and you can also create fabrication drawings like the one shown on this slide, right? So on the upper right corner, you can see the bill of material for this particular component, and you can see all the different single parts or smaller components which are associated with this beam on the bottom here. And finally, what is more important is you have the 3D modeling tools, you have the 2D drawing generation tools, but another important thing is how do you keep track of changes, right? So if there is any change in the model, how it affects the 2D drawings and how easily you can take care of those 2D drawings once there is a change in the model. So that is, we will also see how it can efficiently take care of changes. Talking about interoperability, these are some of the files in the list that you can see here, which you can use directly with ProSteel. So you have some of the Autodesk files, and you have files from SketchUp, or you have files from your Triforma, 3D Studio. All these, you have your IFC format. So all these file formats can be used directly within ProStructures. And then there is your ISM format. ISM stands for Integrated Structural Modeling. So it is a format that is used by Bentley, and as you can see, there are a number of different products, as you can see in this image, that can use ISM for data exchange. So as a simple example, if I say, let's say you are modeling in ProSteel, okay, you are constructing, or in ProStructures, you are constructing a structure in ProStructures. You want to take it to StatPro for analysis. You can use the ISM format, and you can export it into StatPro. StatPro can also read ISM, so it's very easy to import the ISM file in StatPro. You can do the analysis in StatPro, and if there are any changes in the member sizes, you can bring back those changed member sizes back into ProStructures. So you don't need to come into ProStructures and remodel or modify those members. The updated model that you bring in from StatPro will already have the updated sizes, right? Another workflow is you can do your total stress analysis in StatPro, and once you're happy with the stability of the structure, you can import that ISM file into ProSteel, right? So there is a bidirectional flow of information between StatPro and ProStructures. So let's see what are the tools available for you in ProSteel modeling. So what I have done here is I have added some videos. I've incorporated some videos to highlight some of the features of ProSteel and ProConcrete. So first we will see the modeling part of ProSteel. So I have a small model here which has been created totally in ProSteel. So you can see here, this is a steel structure. I've used work frames, and then I've added steel members here, and I added a cat ladder here. Now we'll see, you can see brazing also here. So what I plan to show you here is how we can add purlins to this member. So just in this video, you can see by selecting these two beams, you can add purlins. So this is your purlins dialog box, and you can use shear plate connections. So these are templates that have been created previously, and once you add those templates, you can see shear plate connections at both the ends of the members that form the purlins, right? Very easy to create such an assembly. Now we'll see how we can create a dynamic bracing. So to create a dynamic bracing, I just go and click on the icon on the top there, and you can just select using the point option, you can just select the points from where you want the dynamic bracing to start, and then you can select the main members. So I can select those two columns and assign them as the main members, and it will place the bracing for me. So in the bracing dialog box, I can go and make changes whatsoever, like the sizes, or what type of, if I want those members or the bracing to be divided in the center. So you see I use the divide all option, and it splits in the center and has a gusset plate. So so easy to place a bracing. I will add some stairs to our model. So this brings up the standard stair dialog box, and you can see here uh, the stair bottom you have different options. So you can see the preview on the right side, and then once you're happy with whatever type you want, you can just click on the exclamation button at the bottom. You can save the template, create a template out of the stairs. You can increase the number of runs. All these things, all these values can be changed within the dialog box. So here you see I got 6 runs here. You can see in the graphics area. And now to add handrails to these stairs, I can just go and click on the stairs, the handrails. You can go to the handrails and select the members that form the stair, and it will place handrails along the stairs. So again, you can see here the handrail dialog box also has a number of features or number of controls in such a way that it makes it very easy for the user to update the handrail or make changes to the handrail model somewhere down the line. Okay, so if there are any, even after you place the handrails, if you have any design changes, it's always easy to come back and incorporate those changes in a very simple manner by using the modified tools in these dialog boxes. So this is something about the some of the modeling features that I wanted to showcase. Go on to the detailing part. So what is detailing? Now the detailing part is you have the 3D model ready. Now you want to create the 2D drawings. Now how do I create those 2D drawings? So that is where the detailing comes into the picture. We have, as I mentioned in the beginning, there is something called as the detail center within ProSteel. So if I moving on to the next slide or this video here, so you can activate the detail center as you can see in the dialog box, and in the detail center you can see all the components that are a part of this particular model. So in the middle area, whatever you see the red icons, they are called as detail styles. You can assign detail styles to every component and then create those drawings. So here we are going to see a preview of the anchor plan. Then we'll see a sample, a view file. So you see this is a view file at elevation of 14 feet. So you can see here. So this is like a GA drawing, right? And then what we're going to do here is we're going to take all those drawings and assign to a certain detail style. So now it is time to insert these, whatever we saw the preview, right? It is time to insert these drawings into a title block or a border sheet. So we can go to the insert tab and you can see all the views that are created. Okay, so you can just pick them and add to the title block. So you see we have added them to a title block. So it is a file name that has been created, and you have the detail scale assigned. And now, by using this information from the drawing information table, we can update the title block with the information. You can see here at the bottom all the information has been updated from the drawing sheet. So we'll also create some elevation views, as you can see here. These views are all created from the work frame. So now we'll see how we can create a fabrication detail of a member. So I'll just select a beam, and you can see this is the fabrication detail of a beam with all the dimensioning associated with the holes, the total dimensions. You can see in what detail it dimensions these components. So all these settings are available in your detail styles, which is in your detail center, and you can edit these settings as per your requirement. So these are some of the drawings that are created using your detail center. So what we have seen now is we have created the 3D model, we have created the 2D drawings. Now we'll see how we can create the bill of material for this particular model. So for the bill of material, what I need to do is there is a certain procedure. So first you need to create a part list database. So this database is an MDB file, which is basically your Microsoft database file. So what it does is it first creates a database file. As we can see here, we go to the data reporting tab and create the part list database. So we are going to create a database including your bolts. So we can assign a name for the MDB file, and then it scans the entire model, creates a database, and then here there is a list file. As you can see, LST files. These list files are templates that can be used for placing your data. So we are going to see a preview of one of these list files, which I have selected for this particular model. As you can see, it has a list of groups and single parts, and you can see the column names on the top. So you can also, if you if there are some other columns you like to incorporate in your bill of material, you can also add those columns. And on the top right, you can see there is the ProStructures logo. So if you can also customize these LST files to include customer logos, or you can have also your organization logo. All this can be incorporated in this LST files. So there is there are a large number of LST files that are provided within the software, like out of the box software. So you can either use them directly, you can edit them, or you also can create your own LST files as per your project requirement. So we move on to managing change. As I mentioned in the beginning, when you have a change, or when you change one member in a particular model, that one change could affect a large number of drawings, and then it becomes very difficult to keep track of where you have updated or incorporated those changes. So let's see how ProSteel handles change. So in this model, what I plan to do here is, you can see the detail center, and in the detail center, you can see there are a number of drawings that have already been generated. So these drawings will appear with the green colored icon. You can see here there are these green colored icons, which means these drawings have been generated. Now after generating these drawings, if I go and make a change to this beam, okay, I change the beam size. So I'll just go to the PS properties tab of it and change the shape size, use a bigger size here. Now once I change the shape size, you will see immediately some of these, the change in the shape size will affect some of the drawings, and they will all become red in color in the detail center. You can see they have become red in color. That means this change has affected those drawings. So what you can do is, you can just select those red colored files, just right click on them, and there is an update 2D drawing option. You just need to click on that, and all the 2D drawings are updated. So if you go and check the 2D drawings, you will see that the member size, whatever you changed, has been updated in the drawing. So you see, it helps you keep track of your changes, and also helps you to update your 2D drawing in a very easy manner. So This is what I wanted to show you about ProSteel. Now we'll move on to ProConcrete. So moving on to ProConcrete, just like how we did for ProSteel, we'll see how we can do the modeling and the detailing, and then how we can create bar bending schedules in ProConcrete. So some of the features within ProConcrete. So you can create, as you can see on the screen, you can create parametric components using constraints. So this is a new feature that's been added in the platform itself. That means it has been added in the microstation part of it. And now this is, you can use it as a regular feature within ProConcrete. So you can control the geometry using constraints, and then you can create parametric components out of it. On the right side, you can see, depending on the even if it is irregular geometry, how you can add reinforcements to your concrete structure. So you have high quality documentation as is required, when you're working on complex structures. So these are some of the sample drawings that have been created using ProConcrete. You can see the labeling and the reinforcements within this particular component. Another example of drawings created using ProConcrete. And this is just a sample of the the bill of material that shows the list of concrete shapes and the bar bending schedule. So moving on to the modeling part of it, let's see how ProConcrete can be used for modeling your concrete structure. So here what I have is a structure that's already done, so I'm going to add some components here. So we'll start with adding our pad footing to a column. So you can see on the ribbon bar on the top, there is all the components you can see on the top of the ribbon bar. So I'll just go and place a pad footing here. So you can define the parameters of your pad footing, the length, width, and the depth, and then you can either place it at a point or you can place it at the base of any particular component. So I'm going to now assign the material and then place it at the base of a column. So the column is already placed, and just click on the, we'll place it at the base of a column. And then we'll add a panel here. Again, you can define the height, thickness. All these parameters can be adjusted in your dialog box, and you can place it by using the 2-point method. And now we'll start adding the reinforcements to these components. So you can see here for the pad footing, you can just select the pad footing and you can assign the rebars for it. And once you are happy with it, you can use the clone method and place it to add it to the other pad footing as well. This is for the columns. You just select the column and there's a default arrangement that's available. You can clone it and add it to the other column. So all these values can be adjusted internally. Now we are adding reinforcements for the panel, the bar sizes and the layout, and you have different options for the lap, etc. So you have this panel which is not actually straight, it's got an inclined edge there. So you'll see how you can see how the ends are being cut as per the inclination of that particular panel. You can see that. So now what we'll do is we'll add the perimeter trimmers to this particular inclined panel here. So we'll go to the wall panel and add the perimeter trimmers. Then just select the panel and it adds those perimeter trimmers. So you can see how those perimeter trimmers takes care of the edge there. So that's about some of the components, generally how you can add pad footings and wall panels and how you can add reinforcements to these particular components. So now we'll step on to our next exercise and see how we can create drawings out of a model. Moving on to the detailing part of it. So in concrete detailing, what we have here is a structure where you can see here the top slab. You can see the reinforcements have been added to the top slab, and we're going to create a drawing out of this top slab. Okay, so unlike in how we did it in ProSteel using the detail center, in ProConcrete we don't use the detail center. We use something called as dynamic views. Okay, so you can actually place the arrows for defining the plane where you want the cut. Okay, and then you can adjust the depth of cut so that you can actually take only that slab as your component that you want to create a drawing out of. So you'll see how we do that here. So there is this place plan callout dialog box that comes up. You can define the section cut and you can define the cut depth. So you can create this drawing name and then create the drawing model and the sheet model. If you don't want to create the sheet model, you just need to toggle it off, set the detail scale, and then it will create this drawing model for you. So this is the drawing model. You can see the rebars. Right now you see there are no annotations on the model, on the drawing model. So you can add those rebar annotation. So before that you need to take care of how those rebars should look like. You can move their position, adjust the numbers and all that. So we are arranging the bar range display here. After you modify the rebars, you can add your labels. So there are a number of characters that you can add to it, which will take care of the dimensions and the number and all that. So you can use that kind of a nomenclature to create these labels. And then once you're happy with the nomenclature, you can repeat that for all the other labels as well. So you can see the copy bar label command and you can just select using a window, and the same nomenclature of labeling will be used for all the other components as well. And then of course you can add leaders to them, and you can adjust the leaders and move your text or annotations accordingly so that they are clearly visible in the drawings. And then finally, the drawing model can be referenced into a title block or a border file. So we have created a sheet here, and we are adding the drawings or the drawing model into this as a reference. So this creates your completed drawing file as a total deliverable. So this is about creating your drawing. So what is only remaining here is we need to add a border file or a title block here. So once you add that, that will also come in as a reference. You have a completed drawing for submittal. So moving on to creating your bill of material or your bar bending schedule using ProConcrete. So again, as you can see here, the rebars have been added to the top slab, and we are going to create a bar bending schedule for these rebars. So we'll just see how we can do that. So we go to the data reporting tab, and there is a part list creation tool. You can select the slab or select the excuse me, select the rebars for the exercise, and then it creates a list of those rebars. And then just like how we did for ProSteel, there are LST files. These are templates that are already available within the product. We can use those LST files, and we can see a preview of the bar bending schedule. So these LSTs are already available. You can also create your own or even modify these as per your requirement. So this is your bar bending schedule for the top slab as we saw in the model. So this was a small presentation on showcasing some of the features of ProStructures. Just to reiterate, ProStructures is a combination of two products, ProSteel and ProConcrete. If you have any questions, or if you would like to have some more information about the product, or you want to see a demo with some more features, or how it actually works, and you want to try out some of your you want to create some of your drawings using either of these products, you can drop me an email. Thank you for sparing the time to watch this video. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.